What the heck is going on? I try and be entertaining. I try and have fun with stuff. I know it's SHTF, but by golly, what a complete mess. Mm-mm-mm. What are we going to do about this? Hello again there, Patriots. It's hit the fan. So let's get started, shall we? Oh, yeah, we predict, we predict, we predict. We have as much fun as possible. And I really want to thank everyone on Patreon for coming over there and spending the $2 a month. And some of you spend a whole lot more. Now, a lot of shows will come out and say, thank you to this person and thank you to that person, because that's basically all they got. But with you guys, there's so many of you, I can't do it. Plus, in this line of work, predicting SHTF occurrences, we got to be a little more careful. Right? This is a big game. It's a nasty game. It's what's going on, right? This isn't this ain't no downstream beer. Does anyone remember that advertising campaign? Right? This is the big game here. And talking about the big game, right? Remember that I guess I'm really dating myself here. Who's on first? Abbott and Costello, one of the greatest vaudevillian skits of all time. Who's on first? We don't know who is first, who is second, who's on what side even. Now, the other day, we were discussing Turkey, and we were discussing NATO, and we were discussing Finlandia and Sverige. We're discussing them going, what the heck, right? Turkey is going to oppose, the entrance into NATO of two Scandinavian countries. Well, folks, Turkey turns out, yeah, they're going all in on this. And some of the laundry is coming out. And we need to be well aware. This alliance isn't the alliance we thought it was. This is like, once again, high school, sophomoric popularity contest. And we got bullies and the handsome people causing the most trouble. Well, Turkey has now blocked the NATO admission of Sweden and Finland. They actually have a list of demands. I thought in order to have a list of demands, you had to be some kind of terror organization, right? You had to have a manifesto. Well, I guess they do, right? I see this as the beginning of the crack up of the NATO alliance, official NATO alliance. See, it's not all these countries coming together and deciding what's best for all of us in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Right? It used to be viewed as this America, Anglo, Northern Europe white thing. Well, as Turkey. Turkey has got some brown meat going in it, to pardon the expression, if it even needs pardoning. Again, I like to be humorous. I like to have some fun with you while we examine some real nasty stains, right? This crack up is coming because allies, the alliance, are busy sanctioning and punishing one another. The much lauded alliance, making it sound virtuous and clean and pure. Sorry, it is not. Turkey is now going head to head with the United States. And it's also fighting with Finland and Sweden at the same time. Now, you might ask, Turkey, you might re-ask, Turkey, who the hell is Turkey? Why do they get a say in anything? Well, Turkey is the second largest military in the North Atlantic Treaty Alliance. And if the United States is number one, right, where's the rest of Europe? Are they so beaten down, so effeminized militarily that Turkey, a nation that is not even remotely touching the Atlantic, it's not like they're Morocco or Libya, just a couple hundred miles away from the Atlantic. They're way hell and gone from the Atlantic. They're like 1,000 miles from the Atlantic. Anyways, they're the second biggest, and they're not even a European nation. the way we think of them, they're part of the Ottoman Empire, right? Right? The Ottoman invasion of Europe that occurred, well, it started about 1,000 years ago. Went for about 500 years before they finally gave up. But still, Turkey. So apparently there's anti-Turkish terrorists living in Scandinavia. And there are sanctions against Turkey from Sweden and Finland because they want to sell small arms. There's an anti-small arms sanction on Turkey because Turkey wants to sell stuff. They want to sell guns. Well, those no gun having European nations, they won't have any of that. So these are the things at issue. This is part of the demand, right? You got sanctions on Turkey. Turkey's like, you get your sanctions off of me, right? They're sanctioning a NATO alliance member while not being in NATO. Now, this is what nations do, right? They're allowed to bargain and battle and sanction and punish each other, but sanctions are a form of warfare, economic warfare. Just as the United States said, well, Russia, we're not going to invade you because you've got nuclear missiles, but we're going to sanction the ever-loving piss out of you. Oh, yeah. This has the makings of a complete bust all over it. So Turkey wants Finland and Sweden not allowed in. And I thought, this is a great way for Russia to kind of backdoor everyone because they have kind of a partnership with Turkey. And we'll get to that in a second here. But Turkey, in addition to saying, you're going to take your sanctions off of me, you want in my club? And this is funny. Turkey is assuming control of NATO. Well, they're the second largest military. Shouldn't they have a major stake and a major say-so in what happens? Once again, Turkey is like one of the newest NATO countries. They haven't been there for decades and decades, since the beginning of the Cold War with the Soviet Union. They're like the new kid, but the big new kid, the second largest military. How is this going to end? I don't think it ends well. I really don't. I think Turkey is going to continue to be a thorn in the side while offering a whole lot. And don't forget, folks, from what I understand, Turkey is a major producer and refiner of hardcore drugs. Was it opium or hash or heroin that gets processed there and then shipped into the rest of the known civilized world? Yeah, Turkey, you're a bunch of good guys there. Not quite. Their currency is trash. They've got their own problems with terrorism, but that's okay. They're going to help run NATO because they do such a great job. So we move on. Oh, yeah, by the way, I think, wasn't there an assassination attempt against Erdogan not too long ago? I remember covering that just a little bit. I wonder who that was. It wasn't Putin, I can tell you that. Now, let's move on from Turkey and their small arms sanctions by other so-called alliance and allies, because that's what friends do. They sanction each other. Well, Turkey is sanctioned by either the United States or the rest of NATO, and they're not allowed to have the new super advanced F-35 fighter jets that America produces. That's right. Other nations get the F-35s. Other NATO nations get the F-35s, but not Turkey. Why is that? Right? Why doesn't Turkey, the second largest military, in other words, the muscle and support for NATO, who won't defend themselves? The United States and NATO are the big military muscle of the North Atlantic Treaty Alliance, which swears and promises, because once you're a NATO member, the bullies will back up the bullies. So the rest of Europe is going to sit around and wait for Turkey and America to do the fighting for them. Sounds like a great alliance, doesn't it? Sounds like all the nerds in school, and believe me, folks, the European leadership acts like a bunch of cowardly, wimpy nerds. But I'm the class president, so I have all this power. And that's how they act. Bunch of nerds. So, and I'm very nerdy myself. just, psh. Turkey wants the fighter jets. You want to let in Sweden and Finland? They want those fighter jets. I don't know why they just don't go talk to China and get the Chinese version, the Chinese knockoff, the Chinese replica. Because I'm sure somehow China got all of the engineering plans and decided to build their own. Well, we have the evidence that they built their own anyways. And this is a major stick in the craw of everybody. Turkey is being told you have to get rid of your S-400 missiles and missile systems, radar systems that you bought from Russia. These are the most advanced air-to-air or land-to-air missile defense systems on the planet. I don't know if it's enough to stop the hypersonic missiles that both Russia and China have now developed, but the S-400 missile systems and the radar systems, those radar systems are incredibly advanced. And they were bought from Russia just a few years ago. And we covered that when it happened. I thought, this is interesting. How can a NATO country be buying stuff from Russia? Turkey plays both sides. Whose side is Turkey really on? Is Turkey the Benedict Arnold of the NATO alliance? Or is Turkey just looking out for Turkey's best interest? So Turkey's got some big problems here. Oh, by the way, yeah, Ukraine wants to get fast-tracked into the European Union. That question is why? They grow a lot of food. There's a lot of resources there, but it is the most corrupt. And I have heard this from mainstream and other news sources, this opinion. They're the most corrupt nation, not just in Europe, but on the planet, but certainly on Europe. Why should they, a corrupt military dictatorship, who has now declared that dictatorship, folks, there's no opposition to their rule and their rulings and their demands. Why should they be allowed in, fast-tracked into the European Union when they have no, shall we say, decent system in place? But Turkey's like, if you can fast-track in Ukraine, then you're going to fast-track us, Turkey, into the European Union. And to wrap things up here, I think Erdogan, the leader of Turkey, I think he just come out and publicly ask for his 10%, like the big guy gets from every deal he is part of. Wouldn't that just be a slap to the face and let everyone know that all of these unions and all of these alliances are, once you get past all of the public flag waving and pretending to be moral and decent, right? It's all a sham. These people are all about wealth for themselves and protection for themselves, and their nations and their people come second. Who's on first and who's on second? I'll tell you what, folks, we're in second class is where we're at. That's right. Go back out and check those gas pumps today. Another record high gas price today. Yep. Welcome to the land of dystopia, where SHTF reigns and those in power continue to screw things up at our expense. I hope you enjoyed this one. Certainly entertaining for me, watching how they are just coming apart at the seams. They're proving us right at every turn. So being prepared is number one. Godspeed to you all. Semper Fi, and we'll be back again.